So recently, I was having some gut issues and I wanted to cook something that would be easy on my stomach. So I chose this creamy chicken soup out of the Pinch of Nom cookbook. It's called Comfort Food and it's on page 152. So I just prepped some of my items beforehand. You saw the diced potatoes, and I also warmed up the water that I'm gonna make the broth with. Right here I'm just spraying a little bit of olive oil spray into my pan. I think it actually called for Fry Light. So I'm just getting ready to add my onions to the olive oil. I had diced those up previous. It called for garlic. I didn't feel like actually peeling and dicing garlic because again, I'm not feeling so well with my stomach, so I'm trying to make this all as easy as possible. So here I just used lazy garlic and it was just fine for what I needed. You can of course use fresh garlic if you feel like you want to use fresh and prepare it yourself. I think, what am I doing next? I think I am adding some spices. Oh no, I've got to saute the garlic and onions first and get those a little bit transparent. Just because I'm trying to do something easy on myself and not too bad on my stomach, I still like some flavor. So I probably put a little bit more garlic in there than I normally would. Now I did not prepare the chicken broth ahead of time. I just warmed up the water. I added it directly into the pan, and then I added in some of the spices, and you'll see shortly I'm going to add in the powder for the chicken broth. Right there, that was celery salt. It called for celery. I didn't have any, so I just used the celery salt. It also called for apple cider vinegar. I did not have apple cider vinegar, so I just used the white wine vinegar that I had on hand. And I mean, I think that worked just fine. I've not had this before, so I couldn't tell you what this taste difference is, but it was just a little bit of vinegar. Now I'm adding in the chicken bouillon granules that I was supposed to prepare again. I was supposed to prepare the chicken broth ahead of time, but I figured the water was warm. I could just add it as I go. And that worked out fine. There was no problem with that. It's, you know, you're either pouring in the whole prepared chicken broth or you're just adding in the granules. Next, right there, I had diced up some potatoes. These potatoes are yellow potatoes that you can use the skin on them. You don't have to peel them, and that's where a lot of the nutrients are. So I went ahead and left the skins on those. It's not like a russet potato with a thick skin that has to be peeled. And I'm also adding in the seasoning that I called for. It called for tarragon. I did not have tarragon, so I used Italian spices in there, and that was fine. I mean, use whatever you have to, to create the flavor that you want. The first one I think was thyme that I had put in there, and the second one I used Italian seasoning. Use whatever you have. You don't not make something just because you are out of, a particular ingredient if you don't have it on hand. Now the recipe called for a head of cauliflower. First of all, I didn't have a head of cauliflower in the house, and even if I had, on this particular day, I didn't feel like dicing up a cauliflower, so I had this frozen bag of garlic and herb cauliflower that I had gotten from Aldi So I poured that whole bag into the pan and stirred it in and left it to cook. And it was fine. Again, use what you have. The recipe is really just a base or a suggestion. You can tweak it on something like this. You can tweak it with what you have on hand. The last thing I'm going to do here is add the salt and the pepper, and I don't like to be too heavy on the salt and pepper because you can always go back at the end and add it to taste. So I don't want to add too much because you can't take it away once you put it in there, but you can always add more at the end. So that's my salt and pepper shaker. I love those. They're they're battery operated and you don't have to do anything, so easy peasy. So after it cooked for a while, I used my stick blender and blitzed it all up so it would be thick. And the very last thing that I'm going to do is add in a bit of cream cheese just to give it a little more creaminess. And really everything that's going in here is sin-free. That is the 1/3 less fat Philadelphia cream cheese. And you can use that, I think, as one of your healthy extras. But the amount that you're eating in a bowl of soup is not that significant. Even if you were counting it, by the sins or whatever, it's not going to be that much, because I only used half of this in the recipe. I put like 2 in there, and I think in a minute I'm going to go back and add just a little bit more, but in the end it was only half of that container of the cream cheese. I had my temperature down on this a little bit lower, so it took a little bit longer for it to blend into the soup. So I just stand there forever until I add in the last part and add in more cream cheese. So after I added in the rest of the cream cheese and that started dissolving, it was time to add in the final ingredient, which is chicken. I did not want to cook chicken breast or any kind of chicken or a whole chicken. I didn't have a rotisserie chicken from the store, nothing like that. I made it super simple, and I used this premium white chicken in water. I think I'll show you in just a few minutes when I pick up the other can. I point out that it's in water and not oil. So I used 2 cans of that, just kind of shredded it up with a fork and added it into the soup. now everything is in, and as soon as you get everything warmed over, including the chicken, you're done with your meal. So this is super simple, very easy on your stomach if you have, stomach issues like I was having, and you don't want to put anything too heavy on your stomach. This is perfect. The flavor was very good. You can do other things with it. If you want to save out some of your cooked potatoes, you can pull some of those out before you blitz it and have some of the chunky potatoes in there. You can make your own chicken and have some different kinds of chicken pieces in there, but for what I needed for that day, this was super simple and it was everything I needed. Again, I get these recipes out of the Pinch of Nom cookbooks, which are Slimming World friendly. This one I think was considered 3.5 SWIPs for the soup.